I can understand how early members of early churches, as well as current members of current churches, have felt when they saw their church act inappropriately, in hiding behind the church to abuse, because I experienced the same thing when I was young. What do LDS church leaders tell the wives of the persecuted? Our local LDS bishop came over to our house after my father was initially arrested and thrown into jail. The good old boys with the state sent 2 undercover female agents into my father's living room to set him up, who posed as clients looking for help. Even though he didn't break any laws or hurt anyone, but they came after him because he was helping people without using drugs or surgery. I overheard the whole conversation the bishop had with my mother. He told her if my father, her husband, decided to fight to defend himself in court, to just leave him. That's right. I overheard our bishop telling my mother to leave my dad because of legal charges. One of the first things real professionals do when they decide to go after good people is to destroy their credibility. If you'll remember, when they first came after him, they put his mugshot all over the local television stations to destroy his credibility and told everyone he had been charged. The news media is bought and paid for by the parasitic elite, which they use as their PR firms as well as to attack anyone who threatens the status quo. In the LDS lineage, the bishops are like the local pastor, only they're not paid by money. But that doesn't mean they don't have other social and political motives. So our bishop was the local community leader of the church that I was raised in. I had been taught to believe the LDS church was the only true church in the world and that everyone else was wrong. I've never told this horrific story before, so I suppose it's another level of healing for me. And none of us should deny ourselves healing. But this is what the LDS bishops tell the wives of good husbands who are hauled off to jail, even though, like Christ, their husband did nothing to hurt anyone and only blessed and healed as many lives as he could, and in the name of Jesus Christ. And on the first day of court, he recognized the enslaving behavior of his attorney, so he fired his appointed attorney right on the spot in court and represented himself from then on. And with God's help, he dug into the law library and ended up winning his case while representing himself. Is this how they treat people like my father? And he's not alone. As good of a man as he was one of the very best examples I could ever ask for. And this is how they treat people who integrate the truth. Well, Christ gave his life. In the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise, the precognitives were deified because they could see murders before they happened. Colin Farrell, as Department of Justice agent Danny Whitwer, said, "If there's a flaw, it's human. It always is." That's a big lesson for all of us, to separate human error from the divine. There's also a massive division within the LDS church when it comes to those who are into applying natural health methods versus those who are pro-AMA. Those in white lab coats have become the single biggest authority figure in American society, the only country in the world where we allow the pharmaceutical drug companies to advertise drugs to the people in the way they do on television. The AMA is the right arm of the drug companies, and within the LDS church, the influence of the AMA is stronger than any other religion anywhere in the world. They like to do whatever those in the white lab coats tell them, and they refuse to listen to anyone else. I know. Remember what Albert Einstein said about the intuitive mind and the rational mind. Well, it's gone to the point where a war could break out over this within the LDS church, between the intuitive mind and the rational mind. Those who are among the science community, who are of a rational mind breed, who refuse to even integrate natural law with the laws of nature. I always ask, what would Christ think, say, and do? And Christ talked like this a lot. Luke chapter 11, verses 37 through 54. Christ rebukes scribes, Pharisees, and lawyers. And as he spake, a certain Pharisee besought him to dine with him. And he went in and sat down to meat. And when the Pharisee saw it, he marveled that he had not first washed before dinner. And the Lord said unto him, Now do ye Pharisees make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but your inward part is full of ravening and wickedness. Ye fools, did not he that made that which is without make that which is within also? But rather give alms of such things as ye have, and behold, all things are clean unto you. But woe unto you, Pharisees! For ye tithe mint and rue and all manner of herbs, and pass over judgment and the love of God. These ought ye have done, and not to leave the other undone. Woe unto you, Pharisees! For ye love the uppermost seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye are as graves which appear not, and the men that walk over them are not aware of them. Then answered one of the lawyers and said unto him, Master, thus saying thou reproachest us also. And he said, Woe unto you also, ye lawyers! For ye lade men with burdens grievous to be borne, and ye yourselves touch not the burdens with one of your fingers. Woe unto you! For ye build the sepulchres of the prophets, and your fathers killed them. Truly ye bear witness that ye allow the deeds of your fathers, for they indeed killed them, and ye build their sepulchres. Therefore also said the wisdom of God, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them they shall slay and persecute, that the blood of all the prophets which was shed from the foundation of the world may be required of this generation, from the blood of Abel to the blood of Zacharias, which perished between the altar and the temple. Verily I say unto you, it shall be required of this generation. Woe unto you, lawyers! For ye have taken away the key of knowledge. Ye have entered not in yourselves, and them that were entering in ye hindered. This is just one example of Christ standing up and speaking up, even when the most wealthy and influential scribes, Pharisees, and lawyers were further provoking him to set him up to say something they could use as charges against him. Not much has changed from then till now. What is the key of knowledge? It's certainly an eternal principle within the laws of empowerment. In the spirit of Luke chapter 11, what else would Christ say from the perspective of the laws of empowerment and better understanding the tree of life and tree of death?